Harry Maguire got a red card, and Kyle Walker did something stupid to cause a red card, not a red card as such, to cause a penalty. So England are behind by 1-0. So you guys can keep me updated with what is happening during the game if I don't manage to come, as I'll be focusing on this video. So I want to hear your thoughts, guys. How have you seen the past week of I don't think I need to call it a week, but how have you seen the Premier League as of yet? Because it has had some amazing moments, some of amazing surprises we didn't expect, and in a way have left us speechless. I want to hear that in the comment section, because today we are going to cover as much as we can in terms of what is happening in the Premier League. Remember, there were 4 weeks that we just passed, and we were left speechless. There are a lot of things that has happened. It seems like things are not going as much as we had hoped it would go. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I want to hear that on the comment section, what you guys are expecting from this next coming games and what is going to be happening. Because looking at the stats, looking at what I did find out in terms of the stats, there have been many goals that have been scored in this time, and it's actually scary to believe that it's just the first four games for other teams, 3 for the other teams. So a lot of things have been happening in the Premier League, and it raises a lot of questions. You wonder what's going to happen as we move forward, especially that now we are including the Champions League in the mix and the Europa League in the mix. So other big clubs that are there are also gonna be busy looking at other games that are gonna be played. And now we wonder, hello sir, how are you doing? So today we are looking at some of the things that has been happening. The main title of this is that what has happened in the first 4 weeks of the Premier League, and what do you think it's next, what is going to happen, how is the next stage of this gonna be looking like, because it's gonna be interesting. I tell you, we can't wait to see what happens. So let's wait and see. Let me see what has been said here. Message deleted by Google moderator. I'm reading on the comments. Say I don't even know a message without me even saying anything. It's crazy. I didn't delete that, or maybe there's somebody who deleted it without actually me knowing. So interesting. We don't know what's happening here with Google. So please, before we go anywhere, guys, please do us a favor, click the like button, subscribe, show your appreciation to the page, and show that we are actually there, because we are trying to grow. But as much as we are gonna be talking about the Premier League as much as we can, because this is what we love. So 144, if I'm not mistaken, are the goals that have been scored in the Premier League in the past 4 weeks since the season started. And of course, there are some heavy hitters. The heaviest game, which is Liverpool versus Aston Villa. Liverpool were walloped by 7-2. The second biggest game is Manchester United versus Tottenham, which was a 6-1 goal thriller. Then also the other game was Watford versus, was it West Brom? No, Everton versus West Brom, where they scored 5-2. And the other game was Tottenham Hotspur against Southampton, where they scored, is it 5-1 or 5-2? I'm not really sure. I think they're almost the same. And other games that were played, like for example, the other game was Leicester City versus, which team are they playing against? They're playing against Manchester City, and Leicester did beat Manchester City by 5-2. So in other words, what we're saying is that we have had an amazing, interesting 4 weeks since the Premier League started. And as much as we are actually enjoying this and we want to continue watching this, we are now asking ourselves questions. What is going to happen next? What is next after what we have seen in the Premier League for the past 4 weeks? We have seen big teams which we were expecting that they were going to start on a high, going so low like this. So it's surprisingly that you get worried what will happen next. At the same time, we have seen some of the smaller teams that we were not even expecting that there will be anywhere going high like this. So it gives us that situation where we start asking ourselves questions, wondering what is the next step after this, what will happen. So today we are going to try by all means to answer as much questions as we can, try to give light in terms of where we are going, and at the same time we are going to cover maybe the top 6 teams, and we are going to cover some of the interesting and the teams that have amazed us in this Premier League since it began. I'm talking about teams like Everton, teams like Leeds United, and also some surprising teams like West Ham, for example. Nobody expected them to beat Leicester by 4-0. So all of these things will be covered, and I hope you guys you have the best time as we'll be covering these things. So please, like I say, do us a favor, click the subscribe button, like the video, and show your appreciation, guys, by following us on our Twitter. There's some links if you check on the channel to go to our Twitter page. At the same time, there is a group on FB which is called the Football Connect, so you can go after that. And if you want to see some of the best goals that has ever been scored in the world of football, while I'm reacting to the goals myself on a video, go to Facebook as well, check the page that is called the Football Connect. You will see me actually giving my reaction, even my surprising whatever that I'll do there. Check it out. There are some interesting moments that you're gonna find. I've already done 2 videos at the moment. They are there, and more will be put onto there. So do us a favor, subscribe to the Football Connect, and never miss any video that we do, because we always do videos like this each and every time. So as I'm still starting this video, I'm curious to find out something, so I'm gonna check what is happening in the game between Denmark versus England, because it's an interesting game. So right now, as you see me quiet right now, I'm still checking. 70 minutes played, and it is still England 0, Denmark 1, and England still has a red card. So we'll keep you updated on that. So it's gonna be interesting, guys. Let me read something here that I want to see what's gonna be happening here. Okay. So let me hear from you guys. Which game has been your best game? Because there have been some interesting games. Some games that I'm hoping supporters like me for Liverpool are forgetting, that we are praying that we forget in our heads, and hoping that it will never happen again. I'm talking about the Aston Villa game. No matter whatever people say, we were still walloped by 7-2, guys. There's nothing you can say in this world that can make us move away from that. So let's see what happens. It's gonna be an interesting thing. So okay, like I say, as you look at my description, I said I'll be talking to the teams like Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, and Arsenal, and all of these things. We're going to cover each and every individual team, talking about how they have started and where they are going. So of course we'll start with the champions. Of course, we cannot deny the fact that Liverpool are still the champions at the moment, and as much as we should be starting with your team, you need to give respect to the champions, because guys, after 30 years you have to at least give this team some respect in a way. Just give this team some respect in a way. So let me hear from you guys. Click subscribe, like, share this video. That is the best and the most amazing way you can help the Football Connect to grow. And leave me with your thoughts in the comment section. Say whatever you want to say in the comment section. Do as much as you can, because I am here with you for the next 1 hour to 1 hour, or 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hours. I'll be here with you, talking about some amazing games that we have seen, and what has shocked us, and what we will be expecting to see as we move on to the next section of this. So I hope you're excited, because I'm hell yeah really excited. Is that the way I should say it? Hell yeah, really excited. Not really. So let's hear what happens, because of course it's gonna be a crazy day. We're gonna cover some crazy moments, and we're gonna talk about some things. Let me say some things that actually shocked us in the game, because like I'm telling you guys, I haven't recovered. I haven't recovered from what happened to Liverpool. So let's go. Wow, I can't believe I just wasted 9 minutes talking about things that were not really important. Joking. Let's go. Okay, so like I'm saying, the first team we're starting with, guys, it's Liverpool, and I had to go to Google and open up a page that shows each and every information that covers Liverpool, all the games that Liverpool have played and what has happened in those games. So let's look at it. So talking about the new season, Liverpool started with the Community Shield, of course, which ended out in penalty against Arsenal. We played Blackpool. It wasn't really a big game, if I may say, in my book. It wasn't really a big game. Did we go to that one first, or we played another team before that? Yes, I think this was a friendly match. So yes, we did play. We did play. We did play those. I have to do these things, guys, because this is really important information that I'm getting here. It's really important. It's telling me what's happening here. So, okay, the first game in the Premier League, Liverpool played against Leeds United. Leeds United, we had players like the likes of Sadio Mane, the likes of Mohamed Salah, and other players that were there. It was a good game, I have to say. I really enjoyed the game. I have nothing to complain about the game. Only that the defense did let us down. We didn't expect what we saw from our defense as Liverpool. They didn't show like they were really 100% there, capable to be fighting for any results. They really did disappointed me. I didn't expect that. But we hope, and we damn well hope that has to change, because we cannot take that. We cannot take that. So we move on to the next game. It was an interesting game. We played Chelsea, and Chelsea, my friends, they might say whatever they say, that they got a red card. But of course, they did put themselves in that situation where they got a red card, and Mane did what he did, and Kepa gave us a goal, and we won by 2-0. Which was one of my biggest favorite games of the first 4 weeks. The reason why I got to witness some of my best, or some of the best signings that Liverpool did in Thiago Alcantara, who played the second half, and he did the most amazing passes that we have never seen in the Premier League. He actually broke a record, which was also broken again by Virgil van Dijk in the next game. So it was a crazy thing. It was a crazy thing. It was amazing. Then, okay, we'll talk about those. Then the next game we played was Lincoln City, which was also in the EFLA, which finished 7-2. Of course, these were the youngsters. Then we played Arsenal at Anfield. Arsenal got a goal that Andy Robertson did give them, and the Liverpool did respond as fast as they can. Sadio Mane scoring a goal, and the other goal came from who? Who scored the second goal? Andy Robertson did the repay by scoring a goal. Then Diego Jota scored the other goal. Then we played in the EFA's round of 16, which Liverpool did give Arsenal in penalty, and they were knocked out of that competition. Then the shock of them all, Liverpool played Aston Villa, and we were beaten by 7-2. This was because of Jack Grealish. Now I can actually talk about it without actually creating a sour situation, like, getting angry or whatever you people do, because I've moved on from this situation, guys. I've moved on, because the best thing you can do in terms of like this is keep supporting your team and move on and look straight to the future. Because guess what? No matter what happened with this game, we're still champions, and we can always go back in that part, and we can always do as much as we can. So I don't want to talk as much as I can. So let me tell you what affected Liverpool in these games. I need to drink water for this. We signed a new signings who showed against Chelsea that what he was going to bring to the team. Then the next game, the player does contact coronavirus. He's gone for 2 weeks. We lose Thiago Alcantara. We play Arsenal without Thiago Alcantara. We play Arsenal with Mane, who also contacted coronavirus, and he was gone by the game when we were playing Aston Villa, and we were well up by 7-2. So, okay, and Alisson gets an injury. He goes. Look at some of the players that I just talked about. First, we lose our keeper, and it affected us a lot. As much as I could actually want to say anything, I believe it affected us a lot. If we had Mane out there, he was going to cause trouble to this Aston Villa defense, which Salah did try by scoring 2 goals, but it wasn't really enough because he was just alone. Firmino, I think he's going through an episode or a period where he has to sort his stuff out. We are not going to talk about those. In fact, we're going to have to talk about it because it's also playing a part in this game of what happened in the game. So, talking about the games that were interesting, the Leeds United game, yeah, I thought that was my worst result, but we did get a result as we usually does. But the Aston Villa game did destroy me as a supporter and maybe a lot of players. But we'll move on from that. We'll move on. Even Klopp, there was a point where you could see Klopp just smiling because he didn't even know what to say, smiling while we were being massacred by 7-2. So you see how the situation had turned out. It was just too much. It was just too much because we didn't expect that from our team, and it happened to the point like that. So you find that we need to recover from this. We need to show that we actually have a plan to move on to the next level. Because Liverpool, we should not be stuck in this situation or should not be there for such a long time, because we are not a club that deserves to be where we were. We are not a club that deserves to get the results that we got. So we have to come up with something that we can do so that we move on from this, because one thing that every fan wants is a result. We need to give something that we can prove that we can actually get something. And unlike United or any other team, actually our team is one of the best teams in the English Premier League, and we can bring the results that we can get, and we can actually give people what they're expecting to see in the game if we want to, especially the Everton game, which is the next game. It's the Merseyside derby. Each and every one in the world will be watching that game. Reason why is because Everton are still on the top of the league. At the same time, Liverpool have not been performing so well, and they need to respond. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens in this game. It's gonna be interesting because a lot of people are hoping that this becomes our first downfall, but I don't see it as that, because I know that my team will respond, and I know that my team will give me something that can make me smile for the next 2 or 3 or 4 days of my life, or maybe the whole season, in fact, because we have done that and we can still do that. 2 seasons, the team that has been the best in the Premier League. Everyone can say whatever they want, but you have to accept that we are that good and we can bring it. We can bring it. That part, I am sure that Liverpool are going to respond. So, talking about the games that we faced, how are we going to move on next to the next stage? That is the question that I was putting on this. What do Liverpool needs to do to move on from where we are right now, where we were beaten 7-0, and we need a response, as in to move forward to the next stage? How are we going to move on? That is the question that I'm going to be asking you guys to give me your ways and how you think things are going to be like. Right now, players are coming from international break, and 100% sure you are sure that not all the players are going to come back fit. Some will come with some injuries. Some will come with coronavirus, which means they'll take them out of the game for the next 2 weeks. It has happened. Naby Keita was reported that he has coronavirus. We are not yet sure what's going to happen from this, so we are waiting to hear the results and whatever that we're going to be given. That is going to be something that we need to look out for the next period, because as much as we want to say about these things, the international break was important. Reason why? Because the next games that are coming are gonna be exhausting for the players and times like that. So in a way, as much as the international break did have many games this time in Europe. It gave players, it gave the team a chance to actually recover and actually just go away from football so that they could wake up on their mind and come up with a way or a tactic to actually prepare for the next stage, which is the Champions League and the games that we're going to be playing of the Premier League. Remember, the EFL now it's over, even though Liverpool is already out of this, so we can't be counting them in that, but they need to focus on the Champions League, because Champions League has always been some of the biggest competition we go for. We go for the Champions League and the Premier League, Champions League and Premier League, and the players like Mane and Thiago Alcantara are 100% needed for this new chapter that we are about to go through. People were talking about Liverpool needing a keeper because, of course, guys, we know Adriana at that 7-2, it was a horror show for him. We didn't expect what we did see from him. So you expected that maybe we would have looked for a keeper. People were talking about Jack Butland and they started talking about Foster, but it seems like as much as we want something to happen, Friday is actually sooner than when Liverpool are gonna do any movement on that. So it's a shocker, in fact, if I may say. It's a shocker to some Liverpool fans, but at the same time, you can't say anything. Whenever Klopp is backing his players and he has a reason why he's doing that, okay, then we have to give him that opportunity. Because remember, before this man came, we didn't have a Champions League, we didn't have a Premier League. So now we have those things. I think for that he deserves our trust and belief in a way. He deserves to be trusted for what he has done for our team, which is going to be interesting to see what happens now, guys, because we'll be wondering how things will go from then, because we need to know what we can do in terms of how we defend this title. We need to have a plan. So the question that I'm asking you guys, I want you to tell me if you can answer this question. How is Liverpool going to be able to retain this title? Because as things look like at the moment, it seems like coronavirus is more into the Liverpool team in England than another team. At the same time, with the games that we have, let me show you guys the fixtures that Liverpool has, moving on from where we are to where we are going. The fixtures that we have. So here, these are the games. Look at this. Okay, 17th, which is on Saturday, we are playing, of course, Everton. It's a Merseyside derby. It's a big game. Then the next game we play 3 days on the 21. We are playing Ajax. Then after Ajax on the 24, look at the difference. We are playing Sheffield United. After Sheffield United, we go 27. Can you believe this? 27. We are playing Midlands. I don't know how you call it. Is that Midland or something like that? Which is also the around 2 seconds of the 6. Then after that, we move on to home again, Anfield. Look at how many games we have at home. Can you believe this? 1, 2, 3. We are playing West Ham at home. Then look at this. Then this is on the 31, right? We are given some time to rest from there to here. We go on the 11th or on the 3. On the 3, where we are playing Atalanta at their home. And after Atalanta on the 7th, we play Manchester City. After Manchester City, we play on the 21 Leicester City. After Leicester City, there's some time to recover there. We go back to the Champions League. We are playing the other rounds. So look at the games that I've covered already. Are you telling me in those games we are not going to find ourselves in a situation where we get some injuries to some vital players in terms of how stiff the competition will be? Are you telling me that we are not going to find ourselves in a situation where we will have, I don't know, am I saying it properly? Are you telling me that we are not going to find ourselves in a situation where we will have some players in need of, or some players catching coronavirus, which disturbs us from moving forward to however club style would have been set? Are you telling me that all those things won't play a part in terms of all these games, and there'll be a lot of traveling? So we are, of course, at a high risk of getting coronavirus than any other teams that are not in the Champions League this season. And you are surprised. The odds now, they're saying that there are some teams that I don't even have Champions League or anything. What they have to worry about is only the Premier League, who can actually challenge for the Premier League title. So it's a problem. I tell you, the biggest teams that are in the Champions League and the Europa League, in terms of the Big Six, they are in trouble, because it's gonna be a challenging, time-consuming, interesting weeks that will go through, guys. And we want to hear from you guys. What do you think is going to happen for Liverpool? How do you see them moving from this? Because it's going to be challenging, I tell you. It's going to be time consuming, it's going to be tiring, it's going to require, as much as we can, the players focus and how they're going to set themselves up for this, because nobody's expecting this, and it's going to challenge us. It's going to put us to a point where nobody was expecting. But that's why we love this. It's all because of the love of the game that we have for it. We love this game, and we want to see our team succeed. We want to see our team going somewhere else, going to different competition, doing some amazing things, looking at all the competition we are going to deal with. So that is the first team. That is Liverpool. I think as much as I've given all my things that I've said, I've covered as much as I can. I've told you as much as I was thinking. I wait to hear your response in the comment section. What do you think Liverpool are going to do in terms of all the games that are coming? Because remember, unlike the first week, this now time, we are going to find ourselves in a situation where we have to put our A game. We need to put our A game to show that we can actually go for this competition, fight for some results, and bring something to this team, because that's what we need. This team, they need to give us a response. We need to see something that happens from this team. At the same time, we have to win the Champions League. We need to retain the Premier League. It's gonna be a challenging week, I tell you. It's not week, couple of months, weeks. It's gonna be a challenging couple of weeks. Remember last week's we were having some troubles. I have to tell you, the Arsenal and Chelsea games, I'm telling you, the team did bring their A game, and I was really impressed. But the smaller teams like Aston Villa and the Leeds United, guys, Liverpool didn't turn up, which is really worrisome, because it's like we're going back to the 2017 Liverpool, which could only beat the Big Six, but nothing from this. I'm just hoping that doesn't happen, guys. I'm praying that that doesn't happen. We hope that we produce our best style and do whatever we can do in the best play. So tell me what you think, guys. What are you expecting next? Put that in the comment section and tell me what you are going to see from this. So that was the first team. We did cover as much as we can, and we need the champions to bring the A game. So we are moving to the next team, which of course was behind the Premier League champions, which is Manchester City. The Citizens are also, but I think with the Citizens, they're at a better position rather than Liverpool and some of the other teams that I'm going to cover here. Reason why, I feel like, as much as people might say whatever they say, I feel like the teams that the City are going to face in the Champions League, they are not going to be time consuming, they are not going to be demanding as much as the teams that Liverpool, let me use Liverpool as an example, because it's the team that we just covered, are going to be playing with. Remember, the team that Liverpool are playing with, or should I say the teams that Liverpool are playing with, are the teams that were there in the Champions League. They have gone so far. I'm talking about Atalanta. They finished in the quarterfinal last season. At the same time, Ajax were also there in the quarterfinals, if you remember, against Tottenham in that time. So they are big teams. Not sure about that mid end or something like that. So let's talk about the Citizen. This is the next game we are moving on to, guys. What are you expecting from the Citizens? That is my first question. Let me hear that in the comment section. Give me your thoughts and your predictions and what you'll be doing. Like, before we go anywhere, guys, do us a favor. click the like button, subscribe to the channel. That is the best and the most amazing way you can help us to actually achieve our goals. Clicking the subscribe button, and also giving me your thoughts in the comment section. What did you expect, and what team did I forget, and what I need to cover if I left out something. All those, put them in the comment section, and we'll see where we move on from. Remember, this is a video that I'm doing after I had not done a lot of work, so I'm just putting it out there so that I give you a lot of things to think about, because there's a lot of things you need to be thinking about right about now in terms of how the Premier League is looking like. We have a challenging week and we need to see some response. So let me not waste the time. Let's talk about the Citizens. The Citizens, as much as they've been a team to talk about, a team to beat in the past years, before I go anywhere far, let me check how the England team is performing. It actually has removed. So let me sort that out a little bit and see what happens. So the Citizens, guys, are not performing. I don't think as of yet I've seen a good game from them since the Premier League started. I don't think I've seen the best game from them since the Premier League started. It seems like the game is over. I don't know who won, so let me check here. The game is over. I was so busy in terms of my video, so I don't know how the England team did finish. I'll do check that for you guys and give you the information or the update in the comment section. Tell me what you're expecting, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. That is the best way you help us. So the Citizens, like I'm saying, as much as we can say as much about, we haven't seen a good game. They played, the first game they played against was with, let me go to my Google. So the first game that they play, okay, is it this season? Some of the information that I'm seeing here, I don't think are for this season. Oh, they are for this season. Wow. They played against Wolves, where they won by 3-1. Good results when you look at it out there, but if you come back to the game, you'll actually be shocked with the performance. I'm just saying, I was watching the game. I think I did a watch along for this. Yes, I think I did a watch along for this. I was shocked with the way the game went. You can tell me what you think in the comment section, but like I'm saying, then the next game they played Bournemouth. Let me put this on you guys so that you see the information that I'm looking at here, so that I hear what you guys are also thinking about the cities and how you see them going. This is the information. They played Bournemouth as well, which was a good game, which I have to say was a good game. And I'm checking on how England finished. Which was a good game against Bournemouth, and they won. I didn't actually see this game because I was doing a watch along for another game, so I just was looking at the results. They finished by 2-1. Remember, Bournemouth is a team that is relegated, by the way, so they are not there to be causing havoc or to be causing problems. At the same time, the next game they played was at home against the Leicester City, where they were walloped by 5-2. So looking at Pep Guardiola, okay, England they were playing against what? Not English, God. England versus. So, they were beaten by Denmark by 1-0, so they couldn't come back from the game. So I'm really sorry to the England people, or nationality people. I was supporting your team, but it seemed like today didn't go its own way. But let's go back to Manchester City. I don't want to waste time. The 5-2 game against Leicester was a crazy game. They played Burnley in the EFA. They won by 3-0. I didn't watch the game, so you never know. They played Leeds United. They drew 1-1. Then now, the next game they have to look forward to, it's Arsenal. We'll go to the Arsenal game later. We don't want to cover that as much as now. Oh, by the way, I'm happy that no Liverpool player was used in the England game. I don't really know. I think that no one was used. So you should be. If I was a City fan, I should be worried. Why am I should I be worried? We haven't yet seen a proper performance from this team since the season started. Wolves was actually having a problem of their own. I don't know if it is yet sorted, but they didn't perform well. City, also the Bournemouth game, like I said, I didn't watch it, so I don't know what happened. The Leicester City game, I watched it. It was, I've never seen that before. And Burnley, didn't watch it as well. Leeds United game, I did watch it, which was a shock. Guys, Leeds United, you should be afraid of this team. I'm really afraid of this team. It's crazy. So as we speak right now, I think City are number 13 in the log. Okay, they've played one game less than the rest, and the other game that they had to play was Arsenal. So as much as we can say what, they're still not out of this. Especially Arsenal, after signing Partey, they're actually on a different level, and they're gonna be given confidence after the 2-0 that they beat the City in the FA Cup. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. And with the situation that Gabriel Jesus and Aguero, they are not yet 100% back in full training. I don't know if they are back in training, in fact. But also with this recent news that Kevin De Bruyne picked up a knock against England, that is gonna be a drop down. We are not yet sure if he'll be back or what. Those are the things that we need to talk about. We wonder what is going to happen to the citizens. Are they going to be the team that we've seen fighting with the Liverpool in all the things that they've been doing? And the Centurions, are we going to see them, or Guardiola's team is actually in trouble? What is usually known about Guardiola, he does well in his first 3 years, then the fourth he goes down. I'm not saying that's what we've seen in Barcelona, and we've seen that also in Bundesliga in terms of, is it Bayern Munich? So we wait and see what happens on that. So the Leicester game gave people something to worry about. The Leeds United game left people speechless, because at least as much as Leeds was, you should have actually came out with something, City, but they didn't. So now as we speak right now, 4 points are lost by City. Liverpool have lost 3 points. So of course we can now actually look at this thing and say something. There's something wrong with this season. It's broken. The season is broken, I'm telling you. There's something wrong with it. I don't even know how to put it into words. So I want to hear your thoughts in your comments. What do you think is going to happen with the City? Looking at the next fixtures that I'm about to look at, telling you each and every games that are coming to them, because they have some crazy and pretty crazy games that are going to go through. Let's go through them right about now. So the next game is Arsenal. And Arsenal has already been given a boost after buying Partey, one of their best players, who we think is going to be their best players in the Premier League in terms of how he's going to control in the mid. We will see what happens with that one. And Aubameyang, if he's on his form, what is his name? Nicolas Pepe. Yeah. Nicolas Pepe, the last game seemed like he was on fire for Arsenal. Don't worry, we'll cover Arsenal very, very soon, so I don't want to go through it as much as people expect me to do. At the same time, okay. So let's look at this. City's next game is Arsenal, which is on Saturday at 6:30. The next game is Porto, which is the first game. So this could be the biggest team that they have. Then they play West Ham. After West Ham, they go to Marseille and they play Sheffield United. After Sheffield, they play Olympiacos. After Olympiacos, they play Liverpool. After Liverpool, they play Tottenham. After Tottenham, they play Olympiacos. After Olympiacos, they play Burnley. After Burnley, they play Porto, Fulham, Marseille United. God. I have to call God on this, guys, because this is crazy. This is pretty crazy. And also, but just to remind you, City are still in the Carabao Cup, unlike Liverpool that ran away from other trophies. They're still in there. So also they have a chance to actually compete in another league. So that's a lot of games. And like the same question that I asked, what's next? Because in all those games, don't you think there will be some situation they pick up some knocks with some of their players? At the same time, don't you think in terms of this corona world, one or two players pick up some corona and stuff like that. It's not like I'm wishing players to pick up corona, but there's a lot of traveling that is happening, guys, here. And you never know with this situation we are. They will go to a place where we are not expecting corona to be down, but you'll be surprised. So there are a lot of things that are happening, guys. As much as we hate it or like to say anything about it, this is not really a good season. Like I'm saying, this season is broken. It's scary for the big teams because what they're going to go through, while some of the teams that have been selected to be at least competing for the Premier League, they're going to be resting and they'll play their full squad each and every week in the Premier League. It is a problem. I don't want to lie to you. It is a problem and we just don't know what's going to happen. That is the fact of the matter. We can't run away from it. We just have to accept from this. So let me hear from you guys. What do you think will happen to City? What are you expecting from the citizen? And what can you say can be the best way for them to deal with this situation? We have a lot of things and we have a lot of problems. Put that in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. Do whatever you can. I think I've covered you. I've shown you all the games that are going to be played by City. There are a lot of games. Things are not looking good for any of those teams. I'm talking about Liverpool and City. Nothing is looking good for us, guys. We have to find out what's going to happen next, because the games that are there are big games for people to be closing their eyes or to be looking sideways or to be doing crazy stuff. We don't know how we are going to respond. We don't know what's going to happen. We are just hoping and hoping that our team doesn't get injured, our big main players don't get out of the game, and we continue giving so good performance in terms of how things are going to be look like. For the citizens, it's already a problem because, like I'm saying, it seems like Kevin De Bruyne has picked up a knock. I hope it's a small knock and he can come back as soon as he can, because some of the games that are going to be playing, they're going to be challenging in terms of mentality, and they are separated, like I said, by either 3 days or 4 days for the next coming 5 or 6 weeks. So you wonder how are they going to do. Remember, City wants the Champions League at the same time they want their Premier League back. So those are the things that are going to happen. We wait and see what happens. I want to hear that in the comment section. What do you expect? And what are you going to see? That's going to be interesting to see what happens. So I'm moving on to the next team that finished in the Premier League on number 3. So it's just the other side of the citizen, which is Manchester United. This is the next game that I'm moving on to, or the next team that I'm moving on to. So I like City. In fact, I like Liverpool as well. United are in trouble. Should I say it like that? They're in trouble. Why am I saying United are in trouble? First, United are dealing with a boss situation. I'm talking about their managers, Ed Woodwards, in terms of those sporting managers and whatever that happens. At the same time, their owners, it seems like they're not really interested in buying some of the players that the manager or the team wants for them to go forward in terms of what's going to happen next. Because the games that are coming for them also, if you thought the City and the other games are crazy, you haven't seen United, man. You haven't seen United. It's crazy as fuck. So we wonder what's going to happen, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to share this video. That is very, very important. So how do we talk about this team? A lot of goals have been scored for this team, like the Liverpool team also. There are a lot of goals that have been scored in this team, and they've lost more games than the rest. So let's jump into that right about now. Let me change my screen. Let me give you the information. Before we do that, don't forget to do us a favor, like I always ask, like I always beg. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to show that you're a fan by leaving by leaving at least a comment to tell us what is on your mind, what you expect is going to happen in this team, and what is going to happen as we move on, because all those things are going to play a bigger part in terms of how we move on. So there's a lot of things to talk about, guys. There's pretty much a lot of things to talk about this team. It's a big club. You expect nothing but the best for them. I'm just saying, looking at the situation at the moment, we are not seeing what is the best for them. The best for them is actually missing at the moment. So we want to hear from you guys. What do you think United needs to do for them to come back to their, is it their glory days, if that is the right word to use? Should we say their glory days? I don't know. Let me hear that in the comment section, because we don't know which glory days are there for them. Because come on, something's happening with the club. There's something that has to be happening with the club. So let me move on to my screen so that I show you what happened and what's going to happen for the United. So you United supporters, you might need a seatbelt for this. Okay, so the first game they played against Crystal Palace at Old Trafford, they were hammered by 3-1. The second game they went to the EFL, or the Carabao Cup, they played the Langton, which they won by 3-0. Post. They played Brighton, and the 100th penalty, or the after game penalty that Bruno Fernandes was given, gave them a lead against Brighton. And they played Brighton again in the EFLA, which they performed surprisingly well. I have to tell you guys, surprisingly well. They dominated the game and they won again by 3-0. The next game they played was against Tottenham, which was at Old Trafford, at home again, and they were walloped by 6-1. Of course, a lot of United fans get a away card in this game is that our team got a red card. Liverpool fans, your team didn't get a red card. Fair enough. To a certain extent, we might try to actually accept that. Fair enough. But this was at home, people. This was at home. And this was your rival. And what else? Again, like Chelsea, you put yourself in that situation as well. It's crazy how things can just go like that. So that's pretty much all what has happened to United. And of course, we talk about the transfers. They didn't turn up in the buying the right transfers, because as much as they were looking at the attacking options and stuff like that and whatever they were focusing on, some of us, or some of people like me, I felt like they were looking at the wrong direction. They needed more of defenders and maybe midfielders. They didn't look at that at all. Nothing. They didn't do anything. In fact, okay, they did buy something at left back. They bought Alex Telles, which is a good player, according to what I'm getting from some of the United pages or YouTube pages that I have, that I go through each and every day. They're saying Alex Telles is going to be so good, even gooder than any Robertson. Some people say. I won't say their names here. I don't know. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. In terms of the next games that are coming, you are coming from being humbled by a club. I was watching your captain today getting a red card against for England. Costed the team to lose the game, which means 100% when he leaves this tournament is coming with a, what is the right word? It's coming with a law in terms of morale, and he has to be the man who boosted the team together with the manager to compete for what's coming next. I don't lie to you, it's a pretty big ask. Because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't really know what it's going to bring. You don't really know what's going to happen. It's really crazy. A lot of things are happening at the same time, and you don't know how you're going to move on to. And you ask yourself a question: how do you survive this? how do you get something out of this? Because a lot of people are going to be looking for at you, or some of the player teams that won't be performing well, surprisingly not well, like maybe City, maybe Liverpool, maybe Chelsea, maybe Arsenal, maybe Tottenham. I'm talking about their fans now. They'll be using you as a team that is doing worse than them, saying that you might be laughing at us, but look at United, and everyone in this world knows that United is a big club. At the moment in Premier League, still bigger than Liverpool, because Liverpool have taken 19 leagues, right? And United have 20, right? So that is pretty big. And in terms of their treble and all the things that have done, in terms of history as well, they have a lot of things to be seen up. But 2020-2021, it's a different year. The league is broken. I think we are now starting to see the importance of fans in the stadiums for some team. Because if I give you an example, Liverpool is a team that plays with emotions. I don't know if you get what I mean. Liverpool are a team that plays so well with emotions. They goes with the emotions of the crowd in terms of how they perform. If you don't really believe what I'm saying, look at the game between Liverpool versus Barcelona in the Champions League. If it wasn't because of the fans and how they were like in terms of the ground, those are emotions, guys. So you wonder now that they're playing in an empty ground when you can only hear Virgil van Dijk shouting "Rambo" or something like that. That is a problem, and I'm feeling like that is also the same situation that is happening here with United. I don't know if you don't believe what I'm saying, or you don't see what I'm saying as valued. Is that the word to use? Value, if it offers value, or if it's making sense like it's supposed to. I want to hear that from you right now in the comment section, guys. Tell me if I'm making sense or I'm just making noise, because that's what I'm here to make sense or make noise, and you guys should correct me in the comment section, saying whatever you think is the right way or the right manner of whatever that I'm saying. I want to hear that in the comment section. So that's what I'm saying. These teams, they play with emotions. They go in terms of how the emotions of the crowds are responding, and because that we don't have fans in the stadium, that is going to affect all of the teams so badly and well at the same time. So we don't really know what's going to come out from these teams. We don't really know what United will offer. Even Liverpool, for Christ's sake, to say, we don't even know what I'm expecting from my team, Liverpool. That is how crazy the situation at the moment is. I don't even know what my team is going to offer, and I wonder, where am I going next? That is the question that I ask myself. What is going to happen? And at the same time, I'm 100% sure that most of the United supporters are asking themselves the same question. Where are we going with this team? You need answers for that. So, okay, done with you talking about, you might say, throwing or what, but I'm just stating the facts and the truth of what is the truth of the matter in terms of what has been happening. How are your fixtures looking like? My. So the next game, remember you played one game less than the other teams. The other team, in fact, in this situation, because I've only talked about Liverpool. The next game is Newcastle. You are at Newcastle. You also don't have Martial in the game because he got a red card. And I don't know. We have to see. I think that's all. And we don't know how your players will be like. Remember, we're living in this COVID-19 situation. We don't know what's happening. The next game after that, which is 3 days later, is it? Yeah, 3 days later, you are playing PSG. After PSG, you play Chelsea. God, that is crazy. Then after Chelsea, you play. That is 4 days later, guys. After Chelsea, you play Leipzig at home. Look, these are the most interesting 3 games. 1, 2, 3, and they are just 1 week apart. You are playing Chelsea at home. You are playing Leipzig at home. You are playing Arsenal at home. After playing PSG, after coming from PSG, remember the 6-1 you was at your home. The 3, what is that one? The 3-1 was also at your home. So it seems like you have been having a bad day in your home ground. what is going to happen? I'm hearing rumors that you are talking about bringing Pochettino in your team. We'll see what that happens. Then after Arsenal, let's not finish there. Go to Istanbul, which I think out of all the games we've seen, that is actually a better team to play. Then after Istanbul, you move on to Everton. After Everton, you go West Brom. After West Brom, you go back to Istanbul. After Istanbul, you play Southampton, PSG at home, West Ham, Leipzig, City, then Sheffield. After Sheffield, remember you guys are still not out of the EFL. You play Leeds United. After Leeds United, you go to Everton. After Everton, you go to Leicester, Wolves, Villa, Fulham, Liverpool. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Is it me? Oh, that will be in 2021, so I think I've gone too far. Let me go back in my lane. Simba, go back in your lane. Sam, go back on your lane. We can't be talking about Liverpool right now because a lot of things would have changed. So, I think we can it's actually clear for a person like me. Not saying I'm throwing the club or saying something crazy. If Bruno Fernandes has some still emotions to let it out, because I heard that he went crazy on the manager and the players in terms of what had happened in the game during that game, it's that time where you need to keep going crazy, because there are some interesting and pretty interesting games that are about to come from then. I want to hear from you. How do you see this? I think this crazy. And as much as we are talking about the next few games that are coming are going to determine if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer stays as a United manager or not, this is a pretty much gone. A pretty much gone. That's how I see it in my case. It's a pretty much gone. I don't know. I want to hear from you guys. Let me hear your thoughts. I'm actually worried because as much as I don't like United, I'll never lie about that. I don't like United. I don't support United. You expect at least the team to perform so well so that at least you keep enjoying. Whenever you're winning, you actually feel the importance of you winning, because you say that, okay, we are playing so well and we are winning. At the same time, the games that United are going to face are crazy. So let me hear from you guys. How do you see United surviving the next games? Especially Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's game is hanging by a thread. At the same time, you expect them to move on to the next level. How do you see United finishing? That is now the question that I'm asking you. In the top 8, in the top 4, in the number 1 or 2, put that in the comment section, because there are a lot of questions to be asking about this team. So if you guys are interested to hear about the Liverpool game, I talked about it. It is in the first part of the video. City was the next game. I'm in United right now. I'll be moving to Chelsea, because that's the next big team that is coming. At the same time, I'll be moving to other different clubs, so expect that right about now. I want to hear your thoughts about United. How do you see United moving on from this? So let me hear from you guys in the comment section, because there's a lot of things. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're just joining us for the first time. Don't forget to like and share this video. That is the best and the most amazing way you can help the Football Connect in growing. So let's move on to the next team, guys. And also, again, this team is also in the Champions League, which is Chelsea. I'm talking about this because they finished number 4 last season and is still in the Champions League. Chelsea did good business this season. We like to believe so, because we haven't actually seen their good business doing so well, except of Chilwell, the last game that they played. He did so well. We scored and he assisted and stuff like that. There are a lot of things that happened. So we are covering Chelsea right now, guys, and we are going to be talking about what we are going to be expecting from Chelsea after finishing United, which is going through shambles. If you want me to cover more about United, please put it in the comment section. I'll talk about that and talk about what else will happen from this. Now let's move on to, of course, Chelsea. Chelsea is a good team, coached by a coach that I try to believe in my own self, in my own way that I see it, who's still an amateur coach, in terms of how he still needs to grow and how he still needs to develop as a coach or as a manager, in terms of how he's doing his stuff and where he has to set himself to be if he wants to achieve something as a manager. I'm talking about none other than Frank Lampard. I will never hide that. I will say the truth as it is. As much as you like to hear it or you hate it, I'll say it like that. You just have to accept the fact that Frank Lampard is still an amateur coach who's coaching or is managing a couple of big men who have some good CVs in terms of what they've achieved, and they are expected to be doing so well in terms of the man that was used by the club. So let's look at the first games that were played by Chelsea. Chelsea United, no, it's not Chelsea United. I don't know why I like to say that usually every time, but it's just Chelsea. Chelsea, by the way, they have some crazy supporters who say crazy things. If you really want to listen to some crazy supporters, you'll be surprised that Chelsea has some interesting supporters who can actually stand and say and put their I don't know what should I say, their chest or their breast out and to make the people know that they are really out there to get it, which is really crazy. I don't understand why do they need to do that, because this is football and it will always surprise you if you are not ready for it. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Chelsea team. I want to see where they go, especially after the business that they do. So let's look at what they did in the first 4 weeks. Remember, we're covering the teams and how they did in the first 4 weeks and how they moved on to. So the first game was Brighton versus Chelsea, which they played perfectly well, I must say. Not really well in terms of performance, looking at the performance, but they got the job done. Brighton, I think, didn't really finish their chances, we are going to say. And also Kepa had, of course, what he has been having for some time, his horror show and whatever that happened in terms of crazy stuff. Then we move on to the next game. They played against Liverpool at home, which they lost by 2-0. And some people say that they got a red card. Yes, they got a red card, which actually one of their players led that to happen. So we won't hide about that, because it's a red card that a player got after making mistakes. So it is a well-deserved yellow card. We move on to Barnsley, which was in their Champions League, in their EFL, or should we call it the Carabao Cup, which they won by 6-0, which some of their new signings or the players that they did sign were expected to shine, and which they did shine. Reason why they were expected to shine, because they needed a boost in terms of how they were moving on, and they did get that chance and they did score a lot of goals. Kai Havertz actually got a hat-trick in this game, which was actually good to see for the Chelsea fans, I believe. But that's all that happened. We move on to the next game, which they played West Brom. So in this game, when they were playing West Brom actually scored 3 goals in the first half. Then Chelsea came back in the second half, which we felt like West Brom had done somehow, somewhere, but we are not going to talk about that. They came back and they drew to 3-3. And with that, they went to the EFL where they played Tottenham, and they were knocked out of the EFL or the Carabao Cup. So they are out of the Carabao Cup. Tottenham goes to the next level, and Chelsea played Crystal Palace as the next game, and they walloped the team by 4-0, which I have to say, surprisingly, it was the best game that I saw of Chelsea. But now with the boost that they got, that Christian Pulisic and Hakim Ziyech, who's the other new signing, they are all now fit to come and join the team. It's gonna be interesting what the next games look like in terms of their next game is Southampton. After Southampton, they go to other games. So you might believe that they're okay, and I think we are left with some few days to see the best squad of this Chelsea team. as much as the people of Chelsea or the supporters of Chelsea were saying that you haven't seen our best team yet. Give us a time and you'll see our best team. I think we are at a point where we're about to see the biggest team of Chelsea. How exactly they're gonna be doing in terms of performance, in terms of what we're gonna see, that is all gonna be found out in this game. So let me hear from you guys. What are you expecting from this Chelsea team in the next games that we're moving on? We have already seen what other teams can do, but they said that it wasn't their best team. But now Akim Ziyech and Christian Pulisic are back. We want to see what happens from this. We want to see them in the same team and what is going to happen there. And club depth, I think we can actually say they have club depth that is going to help them a lot as they move on in these games. So let's look at this. The next game they're playing Southampton, which of course we're expecting them to win, which is on Saturday. Then they play Sevilla at home. That is going to be an interesting game. I won't give anything. Then after Sevilla they play United having problems, so I think that's going to be easy for Chelsea as well, especially when they have their full team as they say. That is going to be an easy game. Then after that they move on to is that Cadro or something like that. That is going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't know. We have to wait and see. Because it's going to be an interesting game. Then after that they play Burnley. After Burnley they play Rennes. Rennes is the is the club where their keeper Mendy came from. Then they play Sheffield, Newcastle, they play Rennes again. Then Tottenham. After Rennes, Leeds United. Then after the other team, Everton. So they're gonna be having some interesting games as well before we even go anywhere far. So I wanna hear from you. If you're a Chelsea supporter, are you excited about the games that are coming? What are you expecting from your team? What can you say about your team? And where is your team going from this? Put that in the comment section. Do me a favor, click the like button, subscribe. That is the best way you help us. But Chelsea are going to have an interesting game, guys, and they've got the boost that most of their biggest players are back, and maybe they've is there a drop down or what, that their new signing goalkeeper has an injury, so it means that Anko Kepa is going back to be the keeper of this game, which is going to be interesting to see what happens. So let me hear from you. Guys. Tell me what you think. How are you expecting? What you're expecting from this team, and in terms of the Champions League, how are they going to be able to work out and these things, because they're going to travel as well, and the corona is like this, how are they going to survive? All those questions, answer them in the comment section, guys. So we have covered that. Tell me if I left out anything about your sweet club Chelsea. If I did left out something, because I'll hate to do that. I'll hate to disappoint a lot of friends. I'll hate to disappoint a lot of people. And I'll hate to disappoint your own expectation about your club. That will actually be hurtful. So do me a favor, guys. Tell me if I left anything out of your team, because I don't want to disrespect the team that is going to win the league. There's a guy by the name of Master, who's a Chelsea fan, who told me that who told us that Chelsea are going to win the league if you watch Football Terrace. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in terms of how their full squad is going to be looking like. So I don't want to lie to you guys. These four teams, they're going to have a pretty interesting week. A pretty interesting weeks ahead of them. And as much as we can look away or look somewhere, they're going to be expected to respond in all those games. How are they going to do it? We wait and see. We'll wait and see. Because it's still an interesting thing that happens. We still want to see them produce some interesting results. But as much as we'll be watching in terms of this, I think I would love to see Chelsea struggle a little bit. Why am I saying that? I don't want them to get injuries, but I want to see their full team perform to a point where people are saying that they're gonna be so best, and see how we can compare that with other clubs so that we can actually talk about it, because they've been making a lot of hella noise, Chelsea fans, making a lot of noise. So that is something that I want to see. I want to hear from you guys. What are you expecting from this team? What do you think they can do for you? Tell me that in the comment section right about now. Do that as soon as we move on. So right now, before I waste some time, before I do anything crazy, let's see where we are going next. So we have covered Liverpool. We have covered Manchester City. We have covered Manchester United. We just recently finished covering Chelsea. We are moving on to the next club, which is which club is it? Which club finished earlier than the other one, between Tottenham and Arsenal? I don't know, guys. Which club finished first between Tottenham and Arsenal? Let me just start with the alphabet. I'm not really sure. I don't really know. I don't want to give crazy things. Sorry to the Tottenham fans if I had to put your club last from this team, because I'm not really sure which team finished last between these two teams. So let me just put the team that is close in terms of the new project under Arteta. Let me just put whatever I can put there. Okay. So Arsenal is the next big thing we need to talk about. So rather than the 4 teams that I covered already, this team is not actually in the Champions League. They're in the Europa Cup after winning the FA Cup for the 13th time, I think. I don't know. I think it's the 13th time they won the FA Cup, so they automatically qualified for the FA Cup, which forced the Tottenham to go through the playoffs and stuff like that. There's Leicester as well, remember, but of course I told you I was going through the big 6, so we can talk about Leicester somewhere. We'll see what happens there. So this is the next team that we have, guys. I want to hear from you guys. What can you say about this team? Have you seen something that we can say has convinced you that this team are gonna have an amazing week? Okay, they did do good business. They did sign interesting players, and we are excited to see what happens from those players. Please do, before I go anywhere, guys, don't forget to do us a favor, click the like button, subscribe, and share this video on your social platform. That is the best and the most amazing way you can help the Football Connect to grow. That is me just passing by to that. So let's look at the club. Okay, let's look at the club, because if we don't look at the club, we have some people who get angry because they are die-hard fans and stuff like that, and they have a lot in their plate. They want to say as much as they can. We can't actually don't go through the team and giving them the respect that they deserve. We'll give them the respect as much as we can. So let's look at the Arsenal, guys. So pretty much the last couple of days, I actually had to do a video about this. There are a lot of Arsenal fans who were actually enjoying dissing my club Liverpool, saying whatever they want to say, poking us, poking me, saying whatever they want to say. And I had to come back, and I had to say something. As much as I hate to say something about Arteta or whatever, I felt like I had to put them in their place, which I also feel like I need to do for the Chelsea fans, because they talk a lot, guys. They really talk a lot. They're forgetting who their bosses are, who their big teams are, who the big teams are in the Premier League. But we're not going to talk about that. Let's move on to what we're actually here for. So Arsenal had some interesting games to start with, and out of all the teams, they actually played so well, surprisingly well, except of one game. They played so well. So let's look at how things were going. Community Shield against Liverpool, they won. One trophy in their cabinet, which is a Community Shield. They played Fulham, it was a derby, they won by 3-0. They played West Ham, which was a derby, they won by 2-1. They played Leicester in the EFL and they won by 2-0. They played Liverpool And in this Liverpool, guys, the team it was on form, and they were manhandled by Liverpool. Liverpool controlled this couple of people for 94 minutes. Controlled them, like handled them. That was one of the craziest games I've ever seen in my life. I didn't even know what to say, what to do, where to look. It was so crazy. But that had to happen to send a mark. It had to happen to send a mark. It had to happen to send a mark because Arsenal fans were making noise, guys. They were making noise. And they're still making noise, which is weird after doing that all to them. I feel like I blame Liverpool for not scoring many goals so that you shut this club once and for all. Because I think it needs some shutting down too. I feel like that. Okay, I don't want to do that because that's not what I'm here for right now. So, after Liverpool, they played Liverpool again in the Carabao Cup, which Liverpool did send a small team. And thanks to Leno, they won this game in terms of even going to penalty. Leno was the man of the match in the game. So you can actually understand what the youngsters of Liverpool are doing to this team. I won't be talking about it because it will raise a lot of eyebrows. So we move on from that. And the next game, they played Sheffield and they won by 2-1, which was an interesting game. So their next assignment is Manchester City, which is a team that is on a low. So like I said, they actually had a good record than other teams. I'm talking about United and City. And which team is that? Yeah, and even Chelsea. They actually have a good record. And I was going to say Liverpool are better, but now they were beaten 7-2, so I just put them inside there. So they actually have a good record, guys. Arsenal, and Arteta seems like he's getting his things up after the recently signing of Thomas Partey. I think he and his team and his staff, they believe that they have a chance to be competing against these big teams. They have a chance to be making a lot of noise. They have a chance to be getting something out of this game. We have to wait and see on that. We have to put a pen on it and give it some time and a mark to see what happens on that, because it's going to be interesting and amazing to see what happens. So we wait on that. So let me look at the fixtures that are coming from them. They're playing City, which, if it's correctly, we'll get this soon without Kevin De Bruyne because he picked up a knock. We're not sure if Aguero and Jesus are back in training as of yet. That is still yet to be discovered. They're going to Rapine win in the Europa, of course, which is going to be played on Thursday. They come back on Sunday. They play Leicester City, which will be also coming from the Europa as well. Then they're going to whatever that team is called, Doino or something like that, which is also going to be on Thursday. Then after that, they come back to play United. So don't think that they're having a good game as well. Then they play, is it Model or something like that. Then they come back to play Aston Villa. And Aston Villa, after beating Liverpool the way they did, they have that confidence. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Then they play Leeds United. After playing Leeds United, they play again those Europa games. So then Wolves, they play those games. Tottenham, they play. So they're an interesting game as well, and are expected to respond with a bang, as they have started with a bang under Arteta. And talking about people like Thomas Partey, it's going to be important to see how they perform in terms of how they move on in this league. So let me hear from you, Arsenal fans. What can you say? What is next for your team? What do you see your team doing? Where do you see them going? Because I've already covered as much as I can of your team, and it's pretty much interesting. And I'm actually, which is surprisingly, begging you to get something out of this. And with the signing of Thomas Partey, it's a bigger boost for you guys. It's a bigger boost than what anyone think. I believe he's going to offer you a lot, and he's going to do as much as he can for your team. So let's just wait. Let's give it time and see how your team goes with that. let's give it time and see what your team goes with that. So guys, as much as I've been talking and doing what, please don't forget to click subscribe if you're just joining us for the first time, and don't forget to like the Football Connect. That is the other best way you can help this platform in terms of our growth and where we'll be going. Don't forget to like as well. That is another way you can support us, putting your like and giving us your thoughts and what you're expecting and what we have given you. That is the other way you can help us. And if you missed anything, or your club, or you missed something from your club, check it right now in the you can actually go check it right now. You actually find out all the things that I've covered about your club. Like, subscribe and share. We are moving on to the last team of the big six, which is Tottenham Hotspurs. Then, like I told you, we're gonna select some few interesting clubs, then talk about them a little bit before I disappear. Then we'll see what happens tomorrow. But like I told you, I wanted to give more time in these big teams. I needed to give them the respect they deserve, talk about how they're dealing with their situation, how things are going for them, and saying as much as I can. But like I told you, we are moving to Tottenham Hotspurs. So Tottenham Hotspurs, it's a good club. Surprisingly enough, I respect this club so much in terms of how they are looking like right now, in terms of the business that they did, and in terms of where they are moving on to this season. Because there's a lot of things that are going to be happening with this team. You have to believe me on that. There's a lot that is going to be happening in this team. They're going to be playing the Europa Cup as well. They had to play more games than the others, but the games that they played, they came out good than a lot of clubs, which is weird again to think about. They were so good, so that also has to be a boost for them, and that is going to count a lot as we move on to the next stage. So I want to hear from you guys. What are you expecting from Tottenham? What's next for them, if I may say? What's next for this Tottenham Hotspurs club? Because they're going to have some interesting games as we are moving on, guys. So at the moment, what I'm doing right now, I'm moving to my screen as well to look at how they have started and where they are at the moment. And you can do us a favor by telling me whatever you think in the comment section, clicking subscribe so that you don't miss anything, and also liking the video if you're enjoying what I'm doing, because I've been talking for about 1 hour 20 minutes, guys, and I've covered a lot of clubs and I've talked about a lot of things, so you don't want to miss it out. You can always go rewatch this whole thing so that you catch up everything that we're talking about, because there's a lot of information to cover in this, and you'll be surprised how I talked about your club or your rival. Like I told you, I'm going to cover some interesting clubs like maybe Everton and maybe Leicester City, because Leicester City is also in the Carabao Cup, and some other, Leeds United as well, because those are the teams that are being tipped that they might actually take the crown of the Premier League, which is actually hard to believe, but that's the situation that we have at the moment. It's crazy. The pre-football is something is happening with football, and we don't know how to deal with the situation. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. That is the best way you help us. Let's talk about Tottenham, and again, they move to my screen as usual. So Tottenham Hotspurs, unlike the rest of your clubs, they actually played more games than all those clubs. And the first game, let me see if I'm on the right track. Okay, let me see. The first game was the Europa, so we are not supposed to be. Oh, this was the qualifying. So yes, I think I might be on the right thing. I need to see the Everton game if I'm moving. Yes, you see how many games I had to go back, guys, to actually get the information. That's how crazy the situation was for Tottenham. They played, oh no, this Everton game they won, so that cannot be the Everton game that we are looking for here. Let me see, Watford, nope. Yes, this Everton game. So Tottenham played Everton at their home ground, and I didn't see them turning up. They lost the game by 1-0, and they went to the second qualifying rounds for the Europa, and they won, playing against a team that nobody even knows, and we don't even think we'll know it after looking at it right now. They played Southampton, and they had a weird first half, but they came back second time, gun blazing, and Harry Kane and Son played an amazing game, which got them a win. And that's when, those are just around the days when this team was boosted by their signing of Reguilon and Gareth Bale. Yeah, and they've signed is that Oboe or something like that, the one who plays in the middle. At the same time, they've signed who else? Who have they signed? Matt Doherty from Wolves. So you can talk about this team and say that Jose got some pretty good business, and that is a good boost for him as he moves on to the next stage of his career on whatever he wants to achieve with this club. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens from there. So they played Southampton and they beat it by 5 goals to 2. So it means they have one loss. Southampton, the one is a win, one win, and they played this team in their qualifying and they won, of course, which helped them to get in the Europa. They played Newcastle as well, which they drew with a surprising handball, which was weird as well, but it became a penalty and they became a draw in the last minute. Then they played Chelsea, which they beat in the Carabao Cup, which means they're still alive in this Carabao Cup. They played, is it Makiba Haif, which was a game that was interesting. They've scored more goals, and Gareth Bale was not even yet here, and they're scoring a lot of goals like this. Now they played United, which got a red card. They beat 6 goals to 1. So you can see that this team has been having an amazing games. They've been performing so well in their games. They have more games than any other team that we've covered, and they have more wins than any other team this season, than any other team combining all the games that they've played, which is a good confidence booster for the teams. So in teams, we can talk about it and say that all the teams that they played with, they were still lagging and having problems of the not playing the preseason, but for them it was made easy for them in terms of the games that they had to go through, which get them so well in the preseason. And I have to say that they're actually doing so well, because they never had a problem with the COVID-19, which is hard to believe, but also amazingly well. You need to give some proper respect to the club. You need to give some proper respect to the club for that. And now they move on, that we now know that Gareth Bale is fit, and it seems like we're about to see the full strong Tottenham team as we move on to the next stage. So this is going to also help them in terms of how they prepare and where they move on to, how they're going to rotate their teams and how they're going to perform in all the competition, which gives Tottenham also surprising package the team to actually snitch, or is it snitch or what, take the Premier League champions according to the books, or according to the bookmakers. I always like to say that, according to the bookmakers. Hello Mr. George, how are you doing? How's everything going? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. What can you say about these teams that I'm covering? I've been here for 1 hour 27 minutes talking about as much as all the teams are going through. Put that in the comment sections. I see that you have left a comment for me there. What are you expecting in the Premier League this season? So now we look at what's happening now. Tottenham West Ham. Okay, that's the next game, which is on Sunday. They play Laskis. I don't even know which team is that. They play Burnley, they play Snap, whatever you call it. Then they play Brighton. They play another team that I don't even know. They play West Brom. Then Manchester City. So that is after City play as, is it Liverpool or something? Then they play Tottenham. Then after that, they play at that team again. They play Chelsea. So this will be a London derby. This is going to be interesting. We'll be here. Then after that, they play another team. Then they go back to another London derby with Arsenal. Then after that, they play another team. They play Crystal Palace. Then after Crystal Palace, they meet the champions, Liverpool. Then after Liverpool, then Leicester. So, guys, this season is crazy. This season is crazy. I actually have to put my hands up. It's a crazy, crazy season. You actually don't know what's going to happen in terms of the surprise and weird surprises they are going to be getting, and you actually don't know what's going to happen with your teams or other teams. So you can't tell anything yet, unless maybe the government allow at least a few fans to come back in the ground. Maybe that can help a little bit in terms of where we'll be going next. But this season is crazy, guys, and we have to see what happens. But Tottenham has some interesting games that are a lot as well. It's gonna be the team might not be strong that they'll be playing within the European group, but also there will be time consuming, exhausting the players, making the players tired we shouldn't take that out of the menu as of yet. So that is going to be interesting how Jose is going to do his rotation after already playing a lot of games, and his team has been busy in terms of in the international breaks. His players have been playing busy, and you don't know what's going to happen. So it's going to be an interesting week and interesting games for this team, Tottenham. I want to hear from you guys. What's next for Tottenham? What is next for Tottenham Hotspurs? Let me hear that in the comment section so that we can see how we move on from this, because it's going to be interesting. I tell you, it's going to be interesting. So, okay. I think we've done justice to the Big Six, covered as much as we can. Now we move on to some of the teams that have been making highlights in the Premier League. And guess what? Unlike all the teams we're talking about, these teams are not even competing for anything that can actually exhaust them. I'm talking, first we go back to the current Premier League leaders, Everton. Everton is from Merseyside, of course. If you didn't know, they are from Merseyside. At the same time, we are expecting them to give us a game to watch, a game to enjoy. We're expecting them to show us something that they can show us, so that at least we stay on that, what is the word, to actually enjoy the game and see what happens. That is going to be interesting to see what happens. So let me hear from you guys. What are you expecting from this team? What can you say is going to happen in these teams? Because there's going to be a lot that will be covered from these teams, and I want to hear that all from you guys. What can you say? Because this is why we love the Premier League, for the passion and what they give us to enjoy. That's what we'll be watching. So, what's next for Everton? I've seen some couple of their players playing in Brazil and also a lot of places. Like I'm telling you, this international break, you might not see the consequences or the things that are going to happen, but you're going to see them pretty much soon because of this COVID-19. COVID is messing a lot of things. So we'll see what happens with this team. They were having problems with their keeper, and they sorted that issue out by what? By buying a new goalkeeper in, what is his name, from Roma. Was it the second goalkeeper in Roma or something like that? So I don't really know that. I'm just guessing. If I say I'm just guessing. At the same time, there are other teams that we need to keep looking at. So there's a lot of things that are going to be covered, guys. There's a lot of things that is going to be covered in terms of how we move on with this game. So tell me your thoughts in the comment section. Tell me your thoughts. What are you expecting in these games, and what can you say is the best way moving forward for your teams, if I've covered your teams, and what is coming next for your team after this? Because oh my, we are going to have some amazing games from now on into where we'll be moving on. We are going to have some amazing games. I don't even know what to say right now. So let's look at Everton. You see, I'm actually talking here as just a talker in terms of my YouTube channel as a fan, but I actually get exhausted, if I may say, with just talking about what is happening at the moment. Imagine for the players who will be playing for 90 minutes. Imagine for the players who will be playing for 90 minutes. If that doesn't cause for something else, it's going to be crazy, guys. It's going to be crazy. But at the same time, I can't wait. I want to enjoy these things to the fullest. So, like I say, don't forget to subscribe, guys. That is the best way you help us. That is the way you support the Football Connect. At the same time, don't forget to like. Don't forget to like. Please do me a favor there. Put that like button right about now. Put the like button right about now, and don't forget to subscribe. So let's look about the newbies, the team that is making a lot of noise, the team that is surprising a lot of people, which is Everton. Everton. Whoever expected me to be saying Everton right about now? So this is Everton. They played Tottenham their first game. They won by 1-0. They played Stamford, I think that's how you call it, City. They won by 3-0. They played West Brom. They won by 5-2. They played Fleetwood, they won by 5 goals to 2. They played West Crystal Palace, they won by 2 goals to 1. They play Everton, which West Ham, they won by 4 goals to 1. They play against Brighton, they won by 4 goals to 2. Oh my. That is 100% full record for a team. And guess what? They're going for the bigger prize. They're after the Premier League. This Premier League just doesn't seem to amaze me. It just becomes an interesting league now. What's going to happen? What are we expecting? What is going to happen? What is your thoughts? What are you expecting to see? This is what we need to talk about. Everton, James Rodriguez, Decore, Alan, Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, Gomez. All these players have been super amazing, and they fought for each and everything. Even Uwobi, by the way, and he comes in sometimes and in. They fought for each and every point that they've got, and they deserve to be where they are. They are really deserve to be where they are. You might say whatever you say, you might say you don't like it or what. I don't even like it because my team is playing with them next, and it will be heartbreaking for a Liverpool team to lose against Everton. It will be heartbreaking to even think about it. But we are not going to talk about that. Please do me a favor, click the like button, subscribe, and share this video on your social media. So what's happening is this. Everton has a 100% record with all the teams that they've played with. 100% full record. They've won all the games that they've played. Can you believe that? Won all the games that they've played. If you don't believe, you can check them out. I'm actually still, let me repeat that again. It was nice to do. So they played Tottenham. Let's go. They played Tottenham. They won by 1 goal to 0. Played that Southford. They won by 3 goals to 0. They played West Brom. They won by 5 goals to 0. Fleetwood, 5 goals to 2. Everton, they played Crystal Palace, 2 goals to 1. West Ham, 4 goals to 1. Can you believe this? Brighton, 4 goals to 2. And now they're going to their rivals, or the team that is next door to them, which is Liverpool, at their home ground. It's gonna be massive. It's gonna be massive. So what can you say about this Everton? What are you expecting to see from this Everton team? I have to say, from a Liverpool point of view, as much as now I'm happy that I have Mane back, I have Thiago Alcantara back, this is going to be a challenging game. Especially that they have James Rodriguez, Alan, and Decore. There's going to be a challenging game, I tell you. We have to wait and see what happens with this team, because they've been knocking doors, and they've been knocking a couple of doors, and they're showing, and they're saying that, guys, you need to hear us, and you need to let us in. And with what I was just talking about, guys, it's a clear sign that you need to give them the respect that they deserve, because they're showing that they're actually there to get something out of this team. So, Everton, what are you expecting from them, guys? Put that in the comment section. What is next for them? Let's look at the games that are playing. I was telling you about all the teams that are in the Champions League and the Europa League, and how congested and how the games are going to be like. Look at how this team's games are like. So, of course, the big game that they're playing next is Liverpool. After Liverpool, they play Southampton. After Southampton, Newcastle. After Newcastle, United. After United, Fulham. After Fulham, Leeds United. After Leeds United, Burnley. After Burnley, Chelsea. After Chelsea, Everton. After Chelsea, Arsenal. After Everton, after Leicester City, after Chelsea, Leicester City, after Leicester City, Arsenal, after Arsenal, United, after United, they play Sheffield, after Sheffield, City, West Ham, Wolves, and now we are going to 2021, so that is not part of our situation. No, it's not true. Yes, that is not part of our situation, so they have interesting games, and their teams, at least their games are actually spaced by 1 game a week. So they are not worried. if they want the Premier League champions, if they want the Premier League, they can go for it 100% with no stress, because they don't have other games to be thinking about or to be focusing on, because their situation at the moment is so clean that they can actually enjoy anything that they want. So tell me your thoughts after looking at the games that they have got. If we put the things of injuries, if we put in consideration injuries, corona pandemic, or these things that we're having, where do you see Everton finishing in the next, no, let me not say the whole season, in the next 3 or 5 or 6 games to come, or 8, 9 games to come? Where do you see them? Where in the league? Where would they be? Would they still be the top of the league, or would they have dropped maybe second or even lower? I want to hear that in the comment section. Remember, they don't have any Premier League, they don't have any Champions League or Europa League to be thinking about, so that is going to be interesting. But in fact, now after looking at their games, I'm actually happy that Liverpool have to start playing them right now. Reason why am I saying I'm happy about that is because we can deal with them, then focus on the rest that is to come later. Because imagine playing with them and we are not even 100% there in terms of the performance and where we are going. So dealing with them right about now, it is the best thing we can ever do, and we move on from that to see where we focus on next. So let me hear this on the comment section. Let me hear your thoughts, your predictions, and what you're expecting to see from this Everton team, because they're gonna have some interesting games, and they're gonna enjoy the Premier League for the next coming days, guys, and they can challenge for anything that they want. You just have to tell me what you think and what you're expecting, because I'm here to answer those and give you my thoughts on whatever that I'm expecting from this. So guys, I think I've covered as much. Oh, that will be a sin if I don't forget to talk about the next and last team that I need to talk about, which started this season on a big storm. They're currently the second team in the Premier League right now, following Everton, if I may say. They're the second team following Everton. So we have no choice but needs to talk about them. They are none other than Aston Villa. Aston Villa has 100% full record. Congratulations to them on that. They are playing so well, and they are showing that they have what is the word? They have a point to prove to the world that people doubt them out, and they just made a big statement after beating Liverpool by 7 goals to 2, making the champions of England look like nothing. Look like a couple of boys. Should I be saying couple of good boys or something? Oh, I don't know which way to use, but they made Liverpool look like their children in their game, destroying them to that point. So it's a worrisome thing, guys. I don't want to lie to you. It's also one team that is also being tipped to be the other team that can fight for the, if I'm not wrong, the champions, the Premier League, and they can actually fight for it. Looking at the point that from where they are right now, they still have 100% full record. They haven't lost any game at the moment. You need to put some respect on the team as well. Looking at, let's see. I'm looking. I want to look at the first game that they played and move from there. So they've played less game than the rest of the teams, of course, and their first game came from the. Let's see. Okay. Which team was that they played with first? I'm not really sure about that, guys. I'm not really sure about that. Let me check. But also they played Sheffield and they won it by 1 goal to 0, which was the first game in the Premier League. They played Brentford, they won again. They played Bristol City, they won 3-0. They played Fulham, they won by 3 goals to 0. They played Stoke City, 1 goal to 0, 7 goals to 2 against Liverpool, which is the biggest defeat that they had, win that they have. And now their next games is Leicester City, Leeds United, Southampton, Arsenal, Brighton, West Ham, Newcastle, Wolves, Burnley, West Brom, and so forth and so on. We're not going to cover those things. Then they've United and the Chelsea lacking later on in the season. We're not going to cover those. But it's also one of the teams that is being regarded as one of the teams that can actually challenge for the Premier League and actually get something out of it in terms of how they started their recent performance or how they started in the Premier League, guys. So, I don't know, guys. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. What's next for this team? I think after all that I've covered, I deserve to actually say something and move on, guys. Oh, it's 1 hour 45 minutes now, guys. It has been a long time. So, in my last words before I disappear, guys, after all I finish, all I've said, and all that I've covered, this is gonna be some challenging weeks for teams like Liverpool, Manchester City, and so forth and so forth. Let me just say the big six teams, because all of them, in fact, that at least fighting for European glory. It's gonna be a challenging time. They're gonna be challenged. They have to actually answer the challenge and show that they have something to offer. At the same time, they're gonna find themselves with situations where they have to deal with the corona pandemic. They have to deal with some players being taken out for about 2 weeks so that they try to recover from the coronavirus so that it doesn't go to other players. They're going to find themselves with injuries, players who are picking up knocks and injuries that will take them out for such a long time in the game. So all these things are going to play a part, and they're going to demand a lot from these players. So it's gonna be an interesting time this season, guys, and we are gonna cover more because I'm gonna come back with the prediction show for the next week games, which I will be covering some of the games. I'm not really sure which ones that I'll cover, but I'll come back on that as well because there are a lot of things that are happening this side. That's why I have not been available. I had to go out for these games that have been played, and a lot of things are going to be happening. But guys, I hope you are excited. I hope you had a nice time. We talked about all the things that we had to talk about, and we will wait, and we can't wait to see what happens right about now from these big teams that we are watching and all the games that are going to be like. We want to see how Everton and Aston Villa continues their missions of dominating the English Premier League and actually trying to dominate Europe, because how the big clubs or the top six are going to react from that and how they're going to respond to that. All those things, we can't wait to see how that goes on. And at the same time, we have to wait and see what happens. Like I always tell you guys, Premier League is all that I talk about in this show. I always talk about all the Premier League shows that are happening and everything that is happening outside, and some big games that are happening in other European games in Spain, Serie A, and also some of the other games. By the way, talking of the Serie A, Juventus have been given 3 goals or 3 points after Napoli didn't show up for the game against Juventus last week, which the reason was actually explained that Napoli were told by the local authority that they were not eligible to travel because of the COVID-19 cases and whatever that has been happening to Italy, and the Football Association have decided to give Juventus, which we feel like it's a letdown. Why can they try to find a way of making the match being played out? Because remember, nobody can deal with this COVID-19 situation, and if they were told that they cannot travel by the government, there's nothing that you can do. I haven't actually read as much as I can in that story, but I'll try to find out what's happening, and we'll talk about it more and more often, guys. I'll come back on that. At the same time, Champions League is back this week. We are actually witnessing some first games of the Champions League. We'll see which games we'll be covering, and we'll talk about the predictions of the Champions League games of the big teams that are actually relevant in the shows. I'm talking about the big teams that we are looking at, guys. Like I told you, in all the leagues, we'll cover them if we can actually have the rights to do so. But it's gonna be an interesting week. At the same time, focusing on the Merseyside derby, which is left with 3 days. Oh, I'm saying weeks, 3 days to go. Now that we know that now the international break is over, the players are right now, or they are right now on their way to going back to their clubs, their different respected clubs, so that they prepare for what happens after this. It's gonna be interesting. The Merseyside derby, Arsenal versus Manchester City. You know, you name it. There are a lot of games that are going to be happening, and we want to see what's going to happen also in this new Barcelona after with Koeman, how he's going to set that out. That is going to also be interesting to see how that goes on as well. And we'll be talking about what is happening in Juventus after hearing that Cristiano Ronaldo has contacted COVID-19. At the same time, other players who's another midfielder in Juventus who have actually contacted COVID-19. What we were told today was that Cristiano Ronaldo was on his way going back to Turin so that he can actually finish the rest of his COVID-19 time out and the recovery at home. So it's an interesting time, guys. It's an interesting time, interesting world, and things are just happening and moving on very fast. If you missed anything, it has been 1 hour 50 minutes right now doing this video. You can check out everything that you didn't see, your club and everything that you wanted. At the same time, if you want to see more, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon so that you never miss any time when we come back live on these things, because we are always doing this as much as we can, guys. This has been Sam, guys, and I hope you have had the best time, and this has been you, the Football Connect. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with all your respected clubs or wherever you are. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you guys, and I hope to see you very, very soon. So